Hello everyone, welcome to Ask Coaches. And today is such my honor to have Dianne McCoy here, and she is the executive coach and speaker from Spiral Coaching and Consulting. Welcome, Dianne.
Oh, thanks, Daniel.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
I work in the area of leadership development, and I also coach leaders and supervisors, managers, anyone who wants to improve some of the things that are going on in their life, or they've set some goals and want to achieve them.
So, why people come to you for coaching?
Usually, there's a couple of things. One is that they come to me by referral, by someone who's already had coaching and has been working with me. But the other reason they come to me is because they might have experienced coaching previously. They know what the power of coaching can do in terms of helping them change something in their life, a behavior or their performance. And they know that having a coach can help them to do that.
Change in behavior. How coaching can help people change in their behavior?
Well, first of all, they have to, come to the awareness that something isn't working. Or maybe they have an opportunity that they want to take advantage of. And they just need someone to help them, and help them by thinking about the opportunity or the challenge and how they want to go forward to enter into that possibility that they have on their mind.
That sounds very interesting. How can a coach assist people come to that, having more possibility in their life?
Well, what I like about coaching, which is why I got into it, is that it's a confidential one-on-one relationship whereby I act as a thinking and accountability partner for my clients. And usually we get into a 6-month kind of partnership, and through that there's some goal setting, and we actually work together on challenging the beliefs the person has that might be getting in the way for them to achieve what they desire in their life, their goals, where they want to be, and even how they see themselves. That's my role.
Even help them not only with their company, and also see them with themselves.
Yeah, I just came off a recent project working with a group of managers in an organization, and every single one of those people who came to the call was, I guess, a little bit worried about what coaching might mean for them. But once they settled into the coaching arrangement, it was eye-opening for them in terms of how coaching support could assist them be better managers with their staff, with each other, and even working with their senior leaders. So yeah.
Interesting. So you mentioned that you still need to explain what coaching is, every time when you are establishing with a new client. So how do you normally define coaching?
Well, usually I ask the people that I'm working with, what do you know about coaching? And they usually have an experience with sport coaching, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But not necessarily with the kind of coaching that we do. But the point about it is that sport coaching, that's the origin of this kind of coaching. We've come a long way since that. We're not coaching athletes, we're coaching managers and supervisors and just people in terms of how they want to get better at what they do, think of themselves differently, and move forward toward their desired goals.
Interesting. So what kind of people can benefit most from your coaching?
Well, I think everyone can benefit from coaching, and it sounds like that might be an impossible task or outcome. But I've worked with a variety of people as in my coaching practice. I've been in coaching now for almost 10 years, so believe me, I had a career in the provincial government, and I was so excited about what coaching could do. I coached anyone and everyone who wanted to experience it. And I did that from the side of my desk because it was something that I believed that I was so excited about seeing the possibilities for them and the possibilities for me too, because this is a joint venture.
Wow, a joint venture. Well, I being a coach, like in the beginning, I feel like when I can use coaching for anybody, and like I just feel like it's hard to target someone. Sometimes it's really hard to explain what I do, and hey, people ask me, what's your target audience? So those questions are hard to answer.
Well, they are at the beginning. I can remember at the beginning for me, it was hard to, I guess, because I was so excited about coaching. Like I said, I coached anyone and everyone. But now I'm more specific. I have coached long enough to know the niche that I want to work with, and that is supervisors and managers, because as the middle layer in an organization, they're the ones that can benefit most from coaching, because they are both reporting up and they've got people reporting to them. So how they manage in that environment is critical, and I think coaching is a great fit for that level of management.
Oh, I see. So like maybe many years ago when you picked this like niche, how did you, is there any advice you've for people who are trying to, maybe they try to pick a niche for their coaching?
Well, I think that this came to me just as a result of my own experience, and I think that that is what helps me help my client to be successful. I was a manager. I was a senior administrative officer in the department that I worked in. I know what it's like to supervise and work with teams from across the province. So we called it decentralization back then, in terms of people in various towns throughout Manitoba that I was responsible for. And now I'm working with international teams that are responsible to someone who lives in another country, who works in another country. So this has been very beneficial for me, my experience. I've worked in other countries, and that, working in other cultures, working with people who have English as a second language, that's all been a benefit for me in terms of my experience, and bringing that now to working with my clients.
Wow, so your clients are all over the world.
Well, it is because I have lived in the Middle East, and so I have a pool of people who know me and who worked with me, so that's been beneficial. But also, I belong to the International Coach Federation, and they have a peer coaching program. So basically, if you want coaching by someone who is, has a credential of a certified coach, or a professional certified coach, or even a master certified coach, you can actually get that coaching from anyone from around the world, if that's what your preference is. And that's something else that I have participated in. So that's given me international clients as well.
Oh, so ICF is actually very supportive.
Yes.
For coaches.
Yes.
Oh.
A great, they provide a great service to coaches. Well, and they have the professional standards for coaches as well. And as an educator, because I'm a associate faculty with Royal Roads University in their executive coaching program, we also do mentor coaching, and we are assessors for the professional certified coach level of coaching.
So Royal Road is also a pretty good place to get support from coaching.
Absolutely, and we're so excited because at Royal Roads we just finished working with a cohort from India, and the goal of Royal Roads is to deliver this program, executive coaching, throughout the world. So yeah, other countries is where we want to take this program.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about like exciting about coaching.
Well, there's many things that are excited about that I'm excited about for coaching, and that makes coaching exciting, is because it's a relatively young profession. I mean, after all, it may be bordering on around 20 years. So where coaching is going is very exciting, in terms of both internal coaching and external. So as people are experiencing coaching, more and more people want to get onto that, and the realm of coaches, like even in Manitoba that we have, is growing. More and more people are getting coach education, and so therefore that means more and more people are getting exposure to coaching. So that's exciting. But on a smaller level, working with my clients is exciting, because when they come to coaching and they set some goals, and having them actually achieve those goals, now that's a reason to celebrate. And I get to do that pretty regularly, so I'm pretty happy.
Oh. That's so nice being a coach.
It is. It's a very, we're serving our clients and seeing them achieve what they set out to do, and that you were part of that journey in serving them, that is very fulfilling. And that's important for me in the work that I do.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the most important thing in supporting your client reaching like what they want to become?
Well, this is where it can get, I will challenge my clients if my clients come to me to seek out coaching and they aren't living up to their commitment and what they set out to do, we'll talk about that, and I'll challenge them around their thinking around that. If they wanted to do something, what's getting in the way of them doing that? So my style of coaching, I call it boulder coaching, is about being where your client is and having honest, confidential conversations about what is getting in the way of what they said they wanted. And it may be many things, but often it's addressing the fear and doubt that they have about themselves and their abilities.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So is there any advice like you can give to people who just want to become a coach?
Well, definitely, and I would suggest to anyone who's interested in being a coach is to seek out maybe a small program so that they can sort of touch and feel it and get into what that involves, because I wouldn't want anyone to jump into a big program that costs a lot of money and then find out it isn't the thing for them. So I would suggest, if you're interested in coaching, to work with a coach. Find a coach. That's probably the easiest way to experience this. Find a coach, work with them, and feel it out. And if it feels good for you, then seek out some training on coaching, and then coach. One of the real key things is about applying your learning in coaching. And
you also answered me another question, like how to choose a coach.
How to choose a coach. Well, all right. So it depends on what you want out of what you're setting your goals on. There's a style, it has to fit for you. Like a coach, you want to be comfortable with a coach. And if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to be challenged, or it depends on what you want, because you actually co-create your agreement with the coach and the coachee, between the coach and the coachee at the beginning, because this is a partnership. I mean, the coach goes where you want to go, but you have to set sort of the outline for how you want to work with the coach. And maybe that's not so obvious at the beginning, but as you move along, you have that opportunity to say, hey, I need more rigor in this. I want to be challenged I said I didn't, but I've changed my mind, and now I do want to be challenged. I want you to, don't just take everything I say, but question me, which we'll do anyway. But just the kind of challenge that you want to make for the client.
It's interesting. Feels like I need to feel comfortable, but I also need to feel uncomfortable.
That's right. And in fact, that's a good description of it. Because while you want to feel comfortable going in, you want to, as a coach, we want to build that trust and respect for each other in the relationship. And that's always very, very important to set the foundation for how we will work together in a coaching relationship. And adjust as you move along.
Yeah, it's always adjusting.
Always adjusting. Usually around 3 sessions with a coachee, we start to get pretty comfortable about how to work together and where we want to go, and then look out.
3 sections.
3 sessions. Usually by then, the coachee is starting to feel comfortable, and the coaching sessions are really starting to take off. And take off for the client, meaning that there's starting to become very clear on where they want to go. And that's a progression of experience.
At first, they need to be clear about where they want to go, and then how long it would take to they really makes the change.
I'm working with my clients. It's been 6 months, working with them twice a month. An hour each session, will give my clients what they're looking for. And of course, if the client is not getting what they want, they have the option to end the relationship. As the coach does, if the client isn't progressing the way that they had first said they wanted to, so if there's a change in what the outcomes are, there is probably a point that you do a check-in with your client and determine, do you want to go forward or do we want to part company now? Do you have what you need? That's always a very important question for them. Do they have what they need?
A lot of questions.
Coaching is about questions, yes. Powerful questions, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So the last question would be how do you see coaching in the future? Where is it going?
I think that coaching is a powerful tool for any level in an organization, but also for anyone. It's like having a partner, thinking partner around some of the things that are rattling around in your head that you maybe can't share with anyone else. Maybe you don't feel safe to share that. Or maybe it might seem like a silly idea to you, but it keeps going around, and and it's something you have to talk to someone about. And I'm not a therapist and I'm not a counselor, and there's a very distinct difference. Coaching is about working with people who probably don't have those kinds of issues that therapy and counseling are dealing with. Because I'm not trained as that. I'm trained as a coach. And if I work with my clients and we come across something that is way bigger than I can help them with, I have a list of resources to refer them to if that's what they need.
Nice.
So coaching is growing. And the realization of the power of coaching is also growing. So.
Yeah, I really noticed that even in China, where my hometown is, still more and more people getting to know about coaching.
Yes. One of my colleagues actually he travels to Beijing, I believe, to deliver coaching to groups. So it is. I worked in Oman and delivered coaching to clients in Oman. It's all around the world, and it's growing in popularity. And because the results are indicating that it does make a difference.
So if people would like to connect with you, where can they go?
Well, my website is www.spiraleffects. That's SPIRALEFFACTS spiraleffects@myMTS.com, or they can drop me a note through my email, spiraleffects@mymts.net. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also noticed that on your website there is a 30-day journaling challenge.
There is. And you know, I'm a fan of journaling because journaling actually is a way of tracking your progress. And so I put out this 30-day journaling challenge with questions that subscribers to my website can actually think about the various aspects of their life. So if you can journal for 30 days, I can assure you that will make a difference in how you think about some things in your life. So that's why that journaling challenge is there. 30 days of journaling for up to 5 minutes or whatever you can do a day makes a big difference in terms of your overall thinking around yourself, your ideas, and about how you want to go forward.
I'm looking forward to see that, and it's free to sign up.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you for listening, and thank you, Dianne.
You're welcome.
See you next time.